Have you ever noticed how some mornings you feel energized and sharp, while other mornings you're foggy and exhausted by 10 a.m.? The difference might not be in how you slept, but in what you ate for breakfast. After 70, the foods we choose to start our day become more powerful than most of us realize. They can either fuel our bodies with lasting energy or quietly undermine our health, one meal at a time. Today, we're going to talk about 6 common breakfast foods that millions of seniors eat without a second thought. Foods that might be sabotaging your energy, destabilizing your blood sugar, and putting unnecessary stress on your heart. The good news is that understanding what these foods are and why they're problematic gives you the power to make simple swaps that can transform how you feel every single day. So let's dive in and uncover what's really happening on your breakfast plate. The first culprit might surprise you because it sits on grocery store shelves with claims about heart health and whole grains plastered across the box. We're talking about sugary breakfast cereals. Now, you might be thinking you don't eat the kids' cereals with cartoon characters and bright colors. But here's the truth. Many so-called adult cereals are just dressed-up desserts. They contain shocking amounts of sugar hidden under names like evaporated cane juice, corn syrup, or honey. One bowl can contain as much sugar as several cookies. When you eat these cereals, especially first thing in the morning when your body is most sensitive after fasting overnight, your blood sugar skyrockets. Within an hour or two, it crashes just as dramatically, leaving you tired, jittery, and reaching for more food. After 70, your body doesn't bounce back from these swings as easily as it once did. The constant roller coaster puts stress on your heart, increases your risk of type 2 diabetes, and research even links it to accelerated memory loss and cognitive decline. Consider Harold's story. At 78, he'd been eating the same brand of sweetened flakes every morning for decades. He assumed they were fine because the box mentioned vitamins, but Harold noticed he was always hungry by mid-morning and felt irritable and foggy. His doctor suggested tracking his food, and Harold was shocked to discover each bowl contained over 15 grams of added sugar. When he switched to plain oatmeal topped with fresh berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon, the difference was immediate. His energy stabilized, his mood improved, and he stopped needing that second breakfast. The solution here is straightforward. Choose plain oatmeal, unsweetened Greek yogurt, or whole grain toast with natural nut butter. These options give you fiber and protein that keep your blood sugar steady and your energy lasting throughout the morning. It's not about deprivation. It's about choosing foods that actually support your body's needs. Moving on to our second troublemaker: processed breakfast meats. Bacon, sausage, and ham are beloved for their flavor and their place in traditional breakfasts. But the way these meats are processed makes them particularly harmful for seniors. They're loaded with salt, which raises blood pressure and increases the risk of stroke and heart attack. They contain nitrates, preservatives linked to increased cancer risk and chronic inflammation. And they're packed with saturated fats that raise cholesterol and contribute to clogged arteries over time. Eating these foods first thing in the morning, when your body is most receptive after the overnight fast, compounds the problem. Your cardiovascular system takes a hit right when it should be gently waking up. Ed, 81 years old, loved his bacon and eggs every single morning. It was his ritual. But his blood pressure kept climbing and his cholesterol numbers worried his doctor. Ed was resistant at first, but he agreed to try alternatives for just 2 weeks. He replaced the bacon with avocado toast, sometimes added smoked salmon or a side of sautéed vegetables with his eggs, and experimented with beans and cottage cheese. Within days, he felt less sluggish. Within weeks, his blood pressure started improving. Ed realized he didn't miss the processed meat as much as he thought he would, because the new foods actually made him feel better. The key is finding fresh, unprocessed proteins. Eggs prepared in healthy ways, beans, nuts, cottage cheese, even leftover chicken or fish can give you the protein you need without the harmful additives. Your heart will thank you. Now let's talk about white bread and pastries, another breakfast staple that seems innocent but creates real problems. White bread is made from refined flour that's been stripped of fiber and nutrients. It digests rapidly, spiking your blood sugar just like sugary cereal does. Pastries take this even further by adding sugar, unhealthy fats, and often artificial flavors. They're essentially dessert masquerading as breakfast. When you start your day with these foods, you set off a chain reaction. Your blood sugar spikes, then crashes. You feel hungry again quickly. You're more likely to overeat later. And over time, this pattern increases your risk of diabetes, makes it harder to manage your weight, and contributes to problems controlling blood pressure and cholesterol. Shirley, 75, loved her cinnamon rolls. They were her weekend treat that somehow became an everyday habit. She couldn't understand why she felt so tired and irritable by late morning, or why she was always hungry. When she replaced the rolls with whole grain toast spread with almond butter and topped with sliced banana, the change was remarkable. The whole grains digested slowly, keeping her blood sugar stable. The healthy fats and protein from the almond butter kept her satisfied. She had energy that lasted, and she wasn't fighting cravings all day. Choose whole grain toast, steel-cut oats, or breakfast bowls with berries and nuts. These slow-digesting whole grains work with your body, not against it. They give you sustained energy and help you maintain steady blood sugar throughout the day. Our fourth food to reconsider might shock you because it's often labeled as a health food, flavored yogurts and pre-sweetened dairy products. Many of these products contain more sugar than ice cream. They're loaded with thickeners, artificial flavors, and food coloring to make them appealing. That fruit on the bottom yogurt or vanilla-flavored cup might seem like a smart choice, but it's creating the same blood sugar spikes we've been talking about. For seniors, especially those managing diabetes or heart disease, this added sugar and the inflammation it triggers is particularly harmful. Plus, sweetened yogurt digests quickly, meaning you're hungry again soon after eating. Eleanor, 80 years old, thought she was making a healthy choice with her daily strawberry yogurt cup. But when she read the label carefully, she found it contained more sugar than a candy bar. She switched to plain Greek yogurt and added her own fresh fruit and a handful of walnuts. The difference was significant. Her blood sugar stayed more stable, she felt full longer, and she actually enjoyed the natural taste of real fruit more than the overly sweet yogurt she'd been eating. The solution is simple. Buy plain, unsweetened yogurt and add your own fresh berries or a small drizzle of honey if you need sweetness. You control the sugar, and you get the protein and probiotics that make yogurt genuinely healthy. Next, let's address instant oatmeal packets. These are marketed as convenient and heart-healthy, and while oats themselves are wonderful, these packets are often loaded with added sugars, salt, and artificial flavors. The oats are so processed that they digest almost as quickly as white bread, causing those problematic blood sugar spikes. Many varieties pack in as much added salt as a serving of potato chips, which can raise blood pressure. Howard, 83, ate maple and brown sugar oatmeal packets every morning, thinking he was doing something good for his heart. When his doctor pointed out the sugar content was comparable to candy, Howard was stunned. He switched to old-fashioned rolled oats that he cooked himself and flavored with cinnamon, chopped nuts, and fresh apple slices. It took an extra 5 minutes, but Howard's blood sugar improved, his energy was better, and he felt proud of taking control of his health. Choose steel-cut oats or old-fashioned rolled oats, the least processed forms. Flavor them yourself with spices, fruit, nuts, and a touch of honey if needed. Real nutrition comes from whole, simple foods, not from packets with ingredient lists you can't pronounce. Finally, let's talk about fruit juices and sweetened drinks. Without that fiber, the sugar floods your bloodstream rapidly, causing the same spikes and crashes we keep returning to. Many commercial juices have added sugars or syrups that make the problem even worse. For seniors trying to manage diabetes, weight, or heart health, juice works against you. Betty, 77, drank a big glass of orange juice with breakfast every day. She thought she was getting vitamins and starting her day right, but she noticed she was always hungry and tired by mid-morning. When she switched to eating a whole orange instead, the fiber in the fruit slowed the sugar absorption, kept her fuller longer, and gave her steady energy. She also started drinking water, black coffee, or plain tea with her meals instead of juice. The change in how she felt was dramatic. Skip the juice. Eat whole fruit instead. Drink water or unsweetened beverages. Your body will respond with better energy and more stable blood sugar. So here we are, 6 common breakfast foods that seem harmless or even healthy but are actually working against your well-being after 70. The beautiful thing is that you don't have to give up enjoying breakfast or spend hours in the kitchen. Small, strategic swaps make all the difference. Unsweetened oats instead of instant packets, whole fruit instead of juice, plain yogurt with fresh berries instead of flavored varieties, fresh proteins instead of processed meats, whole grains instead of white bread and pastries. These choices protect your heart, stabilize your blood sugar, support your brain health, and give you the sustained energy you need to enjoy your days fully. After 70, listening to your body's changing needs isn't about getting old. It's about choosing to live vibrantly and independently for as long as possible. Start tomorrow morning. Pick just one swap from what we've discussed today. Notice how you feel. Pay attention to your energy levels, your mood, your hunger patterns. Then add another change. Small steps create powerful results. Your breakfast is an investment in your health, your clarity, and your quality of life. Make it count. If this information opened your eyes to something you didn't know before, do me a favor. Share this video with a friend or family member who might benefit from it. Leave a comment telling me which breakfast change you're going to make first. And if you found this helpful, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos about taking charge of your health. Remember, it's never too late to make choices that help you feel your absolute best. Here's to your health and to many more energetic, vibrant mornings ahead.